Well, CoastLife, we've introduced you before to members of the Delaware State Police. Of course, they are some of Delaware's finest. They make sure we're remaining upstanding citizens. And of course, they're out there keeping us safe. But part of the team that we have not introduced you to yet is the Mounted Patrol. That is, we are hanging out with Sergeant Meadows here today with the Delaware State Police Mounted Patrol. And we were really excited about this, not just because we get to say hi to the horses, but we get to say hi to you guys and find out what exactly you guys do. So you keep us safe up and down the state. Tell us about your role as the Mounted Patrol.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for this opportunity.
Of course.
Our Mounted Patrol unit is a fully operational unit. We do everything from patrol to crowd management to terrain searches for missing people or missing evidence relevant to crimes. But our biggest asset is our public relations. Getting out into our communities, these horses have such a natural, amazing ability of breaking down the divides in our communities. They alone break the barriers and encourage us to be able to interact with our communities, and that's the most winning aspect for all of us.
There's certainly a conversation starter when you see them out and about, and I know, typically when I have seen you guys, it's been at events, it's been, at carnivals or fairs where you're set up to both keep people safe, but also to sort of bridge that gap between civilian and officer. So how do people tend to react when they see you guys on those enormous beasts of horses?
I think for the majority of the people, once they get over their overwhelming size, I think they find that our horses are truly gentle giants. Although they may weigh 2,000 pounds, they love the attention, they love to be pet and interact, and the horses themselves love to tell what they do for their job, what they do here for us.
Not only do you guys keep our community safe, but the community has really kind of pitched in and made this unit possible in a way. How is that relationship, not only serving our community and keeping everybody safe, but the response that you've gotten from the community and how they help kind of take care of these beautiful creatures?
The entire state really has taken us under their wing and is incredibly supportive. It is a team effort with keeping these horses fit for duty. So without the help of our sponsors, the Department of Agriculture, for example, pays for our grain. They help feed our horses every single day. For years they have done this, a true loyal partnership for many years. We have other sponsors that have purchased our horses. The Masterson family has been quite a contributing factor to keeping us out on the street and help keeping our communities safe and our business districts and our schools.
Yeah.
So without them, we really would not be able to do what we do every day.
The relationship between the community and the horses isn't the only unique one. For the officers, these horses are their partners on the job.
So it absolutely is a partnership between the officer and the animal. We get to know our horse and horses that we ride. Typically, our riders have 1 to 2 horses out of the 8 that they spend the most time with, just because of that uniqueness and that bond that they do have with their animal. But it is each horse that we have here, they have their own characteristics and personalities, and the rider gets to absolutely understand them, and they build that partnership between themselves and the horse.
And just like their human counterparts, the horses have goals of retirement as well.
Our goal is to have our horses to actually retire and not work until they can anymore. So 20 is kind of that age that we have as a goal. We don't always have every horse that goes to 20. They may show some signs a little bit sooner. The horse will truly tell us when they're ready to retire.
For Corporal Andrew Jones, the way he interacts with the community from horseback is much different from that of a patrol car.
I would get a completely different reaction when I'm driving my patrol car, and truly we're usually only going in for something that's bad, whether an accident, a fight, or some other things that normally aren't good things. But those same neighborhoods, I was then able to go in with my horse and actually see a completely different perspective of policing, and actually have people come out and want to see us in a positive way, and to be able to leave that community and knowing that you have positively affected that in a completely different way just really was something that was really special to me.
If you're interested in joining the Mounted Patrol Unit, Sergeant Meadows breaks down the process and the duties.
Well, you would have to become a trooper first, go through our police academy and do a certain amount of time on the road, and then you can put in for, we fall under the Special Operations Unit, and you would apply and try out for the team. Riding experience is actually not required. Oftentimes it's really favorable to us to train somebody from the ground up.
Specific way for a specific need, makes sense.
Exactly, but you have to have an affinity for horses and dust and dander and wind and the whole nine. We also, the troopers assigned to the team also take care of the horses.
Okay.
So there's a lot of barn work that goes with that. These horses don't understand if it's Christmas morning, they still want to eat. And so there's a lot involved with it. Is a true commitment, but with the right people, this is, a great unit to be a part of.
Absolutely. Well, Sergeant Meadows, thank you so much for having us out here and introducing us to the Mounted Patrol unit and the horses themselves. I think this is such a unique story, that what you guys do, and something that I think the community will really appreciate, getting sort of that little behind the scenes sneak peek.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
Of course. We do have some more Coast Life to get to, and that is on the way.